Please welcome Colonel Willy Buhl.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate the warm welcome. Sorry, I really was here. I was speaking to a member of the greatest generation, and she was explaining to me how some of the subsequent generations, I suppose mine included, question how that generation might be considered the greatest generation. And one of the things that I said to her was, as much as it warms my heart to see all generations, I think, in the room here, the thing that separates our greatest generation was that the entire nation came together. Every household, from Rosie the Riveter to all the men and women that went into the armed forces, the Victory Gardens, et cetera, et cetera. It was a national effort. And what concerns me as a serving officer today is that in many parts of America, it is business as usual, and this weekend is a 3-day weekend for people to have an extra day off, and they forget the sacrifices too quickly. And so that's my little delay, and I apologize. I am honored to be here. I served in Fallujah, in what we know as Fallujah 2, or Operation Al-Fajr, which means New Dawn in the Arabic language. And I was very fortunate to serve with Sergeant Workman, Jeremiah Workman, but I'd ask these two gentlemen to please introduce themselves because Sergeant Workman was in our sister battalion, 3-5, covering our flank. I haven't met until this moment David Bellavia, so could I ask you two gentlemen to please introduce yourselves?
Sergeant Jeremiah Workman. I was with 3-5 Weapons Company, 81's platoon, from September 2004 to April of 2005 during the Battle of Fallujah.
My name is David Bellavia. I was a staff sergeant in the United States Army Infantry, 1st Infantry Division. We came in to take the northeastern side of the Ascari district, and we got there, I think, 2nd of November, and not only were we well received by the Marine Corps, but the entire operation, I thought, this literally was, all branches of service working together. I've served 6 years in the Army. I've never seen anything like it, and I was just really honored to say at the end of my service that I actually served shoulder to shoulder with the best of my generation, and I consider Fallujah to be the Normandy of our generation, so appreciate being here.
Thank you. I had originally had a film that I was going to show, but I'm going to ask Peter in the back actually to bring the slideshow up first, and I may conclude with the film. One of our young corporals in 3-1, the battalion I served in, Corporal Bender, put a film together with some pretty heavy-duty rock music. And so I'm going to give the folks in the audience at the end a chance to, if they don't wish to be subjected to it, I'll play it at the tail end. So I'm going to ask Peter to put the slideshow up. I'm going to give you a few slides at the very front end, which I hope will stimulate some discussion. And we're really here to hear these panel members speak about their personal experiences, because I think we all know that at the end of the day, it's those NCOs and staff NCOs and young soldiers and Marines at the pointy end of the spear that get the job done. So Peter, if you could put my slideshow up. I may have challenged him here.
New sock puppets. I don't know what that is.
While we're waiting for the slides, my personal experience, I served in the 1st Marine Regiment, and in April of 2004, we were in the midst of training to conduct our upcoming deployment in Iraq. We were scheduled to arrive in the Fallujah area in June of that year, and of course we were closely following the events forward in Iraq as we were doing our final training exercises, etc., preparing the men for combat. And we all heard about the contractors that were had unfortunately went through central Fallujah and been ambushed, dragged from their vehicles, and I'm sure many in the audience recall the horrible events that were televised, people being strung up on bridges. Here's my slideshow. Great, thank you. Do you want to go to the next slide, please? Very quickly, Fallujah, the importance of Fallujah is it lies along the east-west main supply route from the Syrian border, Syrian-Jordanian border. If you look in your lower left, you can see a larger map of Iraq. And it is one of the last major cities before Baghdad. In fact, all the cities you see indicated on the map there are it's sort of an extended suburb of Baghdad, suburbia. So Fallujah is a big concentrated city, about just under 300,000 people. The capital of the Al-Anbar province was Ramadi, there to the west, and if you look, all these cities follow the Euphrates River line. So it's significant in that it's everything that came from Syria and beyond went past Fallujah. Next slide, please. You just get a quick look of the city as you see it in an overview. Very concentrated, a Byzantine, old medieval city with very narrow streets, 2-, 3-story homes, almost every one built like a fortress with walls around it, big heavy metal gates. I'm sure the young soldier and Marine to my left will tell you a little bit about that. As I said, nearly 300,000 people in the city. And we're out in the heart of Sunni Iraq. So these folks, many of whom were empowered and enriched by the regime of Saddam Hussein, were living here. It was not a friendly place to be on, and what I'd have to call occupation duty as we tried to stabilize the country after removing the Saddam regime. Next slide, please. There's just an overview with some of the key terrain. The Jolan district up in the upper left, northwest portion of the city was really the oldest. The streets were so narrow we couldn't get tanks through there in most cases. You had a hospital on the peninsula here just to the west of the city. Every time we would have some sort of event where we struck terrorists, etc., insurgents, weapons caches, etc., the folks inside would bring their wounded to this hospital up on the northwest portion, this peninsula. The government center in the middle was an area where we knew they had a lot of command and control. The industrial district down in the southeast was characterized by warehouses, flour factories, things like that. In 2004, we echelon forces in the wake of the contractors being strung up on the bridge, which is this one, right up here. The North Bridge was a footbridge. We basically cordoned off the city, and 1-5 attacked from the southeast, and later 3-4 came to the northeast, and 2-1 up on the northwest. And